Hey guys, welcome back to Chit Chat with Chip. In this video, I wanted to show you how you go about sewing the sleeves of your jacket. Well, actually, it's not the sleeves, it's the cuffs. If you've seen my last sewing video, I did say that I was going to show you how to insert seamless cuffs where, as you can see now, this is visible on the inside. But once I show you this simple tutorial, you won't be able to see the inside of the jacket from inside. So basically it's all going to be within the seams and within the lining, and you won't be able to see any of that. So basically be seamless, and I want to show you that because this is one of the things that I struggled with so much. Sorry about the wonkiness of the camera. I'm sat on the floor right now. This is my sewing station and this is where I normally sit. I've got a pillow here just for a little bit of back support, but don't mind that. So I wanted to show you guys how you sew the wrist cuffs, because this is something that I struggled with so much at the start when I was making jackets, and every time I wanted to find some sort of help on how to do it, I'd have to find a video that's got it in and then try and find exactly where in the video it is and then keep rewatching that. But this video that I'm making, I want it to be straight to the point, and it will just be specifically for how to insert the wrist cuffs nicely. So keep watching. So what you want to do is to have your jacket all made up. So as you can see here, I have sewn everything together. The sleeves are attached to the body of the jacket. The lining is also attached. The seams at the neck are done, and the waistband is also attached. Everything is all attached. So I've attached the wrist cuffs that stay on the outside. So this is made out of rib knit fabric. So the first steps that you want to do in order to get your wrist cuffs completely seamless and completely inside the jacket, I would make an assumption that you're at a very good stage of your sewing right now. So what you want to do is to take the sleeves of the lining and bring them through this gap, but not completely out through the inside of the jacket. Bring them out through this gap between the two layers. You want to do the same thing to the sleeve of the outer part of the jacket. Bring that through from the inside, and you want to bring it through between the two layers of the jacket. So it should look something like this. So this is the inside of your lining. Your sleeve is going through and into between the two layers of your jacket, and the outside sleeve is doing the same thing. It's coming inside and through the two layers, and they come together like this. So you should be able to see your jacket like this. And then what you want to do at this point is to press those wrist cuffs into the inside of your jacket so that it's like that. So the wrist cuffs which remain on the outside are facing the inside of your sleeve, so the outside part of your jacket or of your sleeve. You want to fold over a small section or the amount of your seam allowance of the lining. So what you want to do then is to take the folded part of your wrist cuff. That should match up with the seam of your outside sleeve part, and that should sit like that. So you should be able to sit the folded part inside the wrist cuff of the outside of the sleeve by matching the seams. And then what you want to do is pin that all the way around. It's a little bit fiddly, so just make sure that you take your time because you're working with such a small surface area basically, so just make sure that you do that. So what I'm going to do is get some pins, which I should have got before I started this. I'm going to use these wonder clips as they call them, but they're basically just small clips that make it easier to work with really heavy fabric, and I'm going to match that up and clip together. Use pins if you're happier with pins, and just go around and do the same process all around the jacket, making sure that all the layers are well aligned so that when you sew it all attaches and nothing comes apart once you turn it inside out. So that is all attached like that, and what I'm going to do is sew all around there. But what I'm going to do is do the other side of the sleeve, and I will show you that again step by step. So this is your lining, outside of your fabric, sleeve. You want to take your lining sleeve and bring it through the 2 layers where you haven't got your sewing done already. So between the 2 layers, between your lining and between your outside fabric, you want to do the same thing to the outside. Bring it in between the 2 layers of your jacket, so between the lining and the outside part, so bring it through there. So it should be something like this, so that it looks something like this. So the lining sleeve is inside and out here. And then what you want to do is take your wrist cuff that's already sewn and turn that in so it's facing the inside of your jacket, which is the outside of your jacket, but inside the sleeve. And then you want to take your lining sleeve, turn that in just enough, so maybe the measurement of your seam allowance. Turn that in, and then what you want to do is to insert that, matching the bottom seam of your sleeve with the bottom seam of your lining sleeve. So you want to insert that, so you basically are going over the sleeve and inside, matching the seams, and you want to pin all around. And what you're going to do after this is literally just sew around here the seam allowance that you've allowed for your wrists. So pin all of that. So make sure that it all lines up perfectly and neatly, because you don't want that falling apart as soon as you turn it over. Otherwise you'll have to do it again. It's happened to me, I've done it before, so any mistakes you make, don't worry, they've already been done before. But just make sure that you get it right the first time, then that way you won't have to do it again multiple times like I've had to before. So when that's all pinned together, you want to take that over to your sewing machine and just sew across the wrist by your seam allowance. Take your time as it's very small, and we will catch up in a little bit and I'll show you how it looks once it's done. So once you've done all your sewing, this is what it will look like. So it's all attached. So there's the lining and the outside of the fabric is all attached. So what you want to do then is to pull the jacket through from the inside. Pull it all through, and that is the outside of your jacket, that is the sleeve, that is the cuff. So that's all sewn together. And then if you look inside the jacket, so this is the body of the jacket, this is the right hand side, this is your right sleeve. If you pull your sleeve inside through, inside out, even if you pull it through, this is what it looks like from the inside. So it is completely attached. You can't see any of the batting fabric or the wadding material. You can't see any of that, and it's all within the lining and the outside of the fabric. So it's a completely neat inserted wrist cuff. So that is how you do that is how you insert and sew your wrist cuffs, so that they're completely invisible on the inside and completely neat. And that is how you end up with a perfectly sewn jacket. So I hope that was helpful. That was something that I really struggled with, and I hope that you find that useful. Let me know in the comments if you like videos like this, and then I will be able to do a few more little sewing hacks for you. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, see you on the next one.